So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to A Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name's Nick Bryant, and I'm here in Brighton with Jackie Knight from A New You. Hey, Jackie.
Hello there. Nice to meet you.
You too. How are you doing? All right.
I'm doing very well today.
Good,
Thank you.
good. Thank you for asking me to come in. So A New You are an independent cosmetic clinic based here in Brighton. And they offer a wide range of cosmetic surgery and cosmetic treatments for women and men.
Yep.
Formed in 2009.
That's right.
But Jackie's got over 25 years experience in working in the cosmetic industry.
Absolutely.
So let's start, Jackie, by you talking us through that and how you got to where you are, how it all came about.
Okay, that's giving my age away, isn't it? But anyway, okay, so back in the late 70s, I started my nurse training down here in Brighton.
Okay.
I didn't originate from Brighton area. I originated from Surrey, but moved down here way back with my foster parents. So I decided when I was here that I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do when I finished college, and I always liked caring for people.
Okay.
So I thought, well, why not go and train and be a nurse?
Yeah.
And that would sort of kill two birds with one stone and give me some accommodation as well. So
like that, yeah.
I was one of the last people that got nurses accommodation,
Okay.
as well as being able to train on the job.
Okay. And that was here in Brighton?
Yes, it was. It was in Sussex,
Okay,
yes.
right. And then where did you go from there? How did you get into cosmetics?
Well, when I finished my training in Brighton area, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. All I knew was that I wanted to work on a surgical ward.
Okay.
I love surgery.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any positions going.
Okay.
So I left the NHS and I went back doing agency work where I was able to work on a surgical ward,
Okay.
which was the ward that I really wanted to work on.
Okay.
And I did that for over a year.
Right, okay.
And then what happened then? Well, I looked around at the agency that was advertising lots of jobs, and there was an opportunity to join and cover somebody who was on maternity leave in a large company called Harley Medical Group.
Right, okay.
And so I applied for that job, and obviously Harley Medical Group's quite well known.
Yeah.
It's one of the first chain of clinics that started. And so I worked with them for 5 years.
Right, okay. And if that lady had not gone on maternity leave, that opportunity may not have come up for you.
Absolutely, no.
It's funny
yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't, if I hadn't have seen the advert, which interested me,
Yeah.
and she hadn't have gone on maternity leave, I may not have gone down this direction. You're right.
Yeah, that's funny how life unfolds like that. So has that taken us up to nearly 2009 or?
Absolutely not. No, there's a lot. 20 years we've got to get through. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I worked with Harley Med for 5 years, and then I decided I'd like to maybe have a change. So I was headhunted to go and work with a company called Transform Medical Group.
Okay.
And I opened 3 clinics for them.
Right.
One in Southampton, one in Gatwick, and also one in Brighton.
Okay.
So I was sort of darting between those 3 clinics. Obviously, I didn't have to run them with everything that I run with this clinic here.
Yeah.
There was an HR department, there was a marketing department, but I sort of was on the ground floor seeing patients in all of those 3 clinics.
Okay.
And I had a team of staff that were also helping me in those 3 sites.
Yeah. So that was good grounding, really, for starting your own business, really, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did after I spent 7 years with them.
Okay, right.
So I then started my own business. Well, that was probably in 1999.
Okay.
And that was not here in Sussex. It was actually in Surrey.
Okay.
Now, I ran that for 8 years, and unfortunately the crash hit.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And that business, unfortunately, was as a result of the crash, it suffered, and that business had to close.
Okay, all right.
So, you know, I dusted myself down in the late 2008 and gave myself about 2 weeks off, and then I opened A New You in 2009.
Nice. It's amazing that maybe the tenacity to start again after a financial crisis, because you must have started that just as the financial crisis was in the middle of it. So that must have been a brave move.
It was a brave move, and I was advised against it.
Were
They
you?
said, go and do something else.
Yeah.
But that's all I'd done.
That's all you knew.
And that's all I knew. So I just thought, well, if you've done this so well, why not give it another go and actually, start something new, but actually in Sussex rather than Surrey.
Yeah, good for you. So now there's many other clinics in the area or in Sussex. So tell us a little bit about what makes you different from those other clinics.
Well, I think with my last company and this company, the difference between this clinic, probably more so than even the one that I opened before,
Yeah.
is it's about having a good team around you.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that, so many small businesses have trouble with their staff and
Yeah.
getting the right team. You can't run a business without a good team around you.
Absolutely.
But I think one of the biggest differences is that anyone that has a cosmetic surgery treatment or a procedure, sometimes it takes them a long time to pick that phone up in response to an advertisement.
Yeah.
So we want people to feel that we are approachable, that we care, and that we know them all by their name,
Yeah.
and that we're not just a cattle market of next person in, and it's not all about the money. Obviously, it's a business.
Of course, yeah.
But at the same time, we want people to know that we care about their outcome.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that without my team.
No, you can't. No, that's it's crucial, isn't it? Absolutely crucial.
That's right the way through from the administration team,
Yeah.
right the way through to, my estheticians who are highly qualified, through to the medical staff.
Yeah.
It's all they're all very important areas of a small business in this particular industry.
Yeah. And the levels of qualifications that they've got are really important as well as their experience. Is that right? So,
Absolutely.
some clinics just have beauty therapists where they're sort of pretending to do what you can do, but they're not as qualified as someone who could be doing it properly.
Well, I think what it is the starting base for anyone going into a surgical clinic or a cosmetic treatment clinic is that you need to have some qualifications, some baseline.
Sure, yeah.
So beauty therapy NVQ3 is a baseline.
Okay.
As is a registered nurse is a baseline for the medical side. But what you have to do after that is what you specialise in this particular industry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
machines, lasers, injectable treatments, you never stop learning.
Yeah.
All of us, including me, go off on numerous training courses so that we can actually minimise any risks to any patients having any complications.
Yeah, constant learning.
You have
Yeah,
to really, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually enjoyable to know because
Yeah.
this industry moves really fast.
Does it? Yeah.
And there's new machines out, there's new techniques out. So it's important that all the team feel that they have sufficient training to be confident enough to treat patients.
Yeah. You mentioned there about, all things developing all the time. The gastric pill, which is something that you offer. Tell us about that. That's quite a new thing, or is that...
Well, it's new to the UK to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It was developed, the company that we deal with is a company called Allurian, and they're based out in Europe, in Spain. And what it is as it says, it is a pill
Yeah.
that somebody swallows, a potential patient, if they're suitable
Okay,
for it.
right.
And that means, they do have to reach a certain criteria before they would just be offered that treatment.
Right, okay.
And it's really for people who have got a problem with eating and what they intake.
Right, okay.
So their BMI, which is their body mass index,
Mm-hmm.
needs to be a certain level. And it's a way of educating them while we, alongside it, offer them some nutrition
Yeah.
and some advice on their association with food.
Okay.
Has to be different. Because once that pill has been
Gone into the system.
gone into the system, dissolved, then they could just go back to their old eating habits.
Right, yeah. And it's just pointless then, isn't it?
Absolutely. So this pill, it expands once it's swallowed in the stomach, and it makes the person feel fuller.
Okay.
So that's how it works. So before it used to always be done by keyhole surgery.
Yeah.
This now is a question of swallowing a pill, having a specific X-ray to check the pill is in the right place,
Okay.
and then it usually dissolves of its own over a period of 3 to 4 months.
I was going to say, how long does that period take for people to start seeing results? Is it...
Well, you can see a result very quickly,
Can you?
normally within a couple of weeks.
Wow, yeah, right.
And it's at that stage we need to start educating them about their association with food.
Nutrition. And,
Yeah.
No, that's just...
I don't like the word diet, but we need to tell them what they should be eating, which is going to not contribute to them putting the weight back on.
Yeah. So do you have a team of nutritionists that you work with, or is that just your skills? Or
No, we do.
No,
We've
you-
employed
yeah, yeah,
two functional medical practitioner,
Okay.
one of them, and the other one's a nutritionist.
Okay.
That is their area of expertise. It's not mine. So
Yeah. That's like
they
you were saying
come-
earlier, having a good team around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to see those people because it's part of what we offer as the gastric pill package.
Okay. The other thing that we wanted to talk about was the transgender treatments that you offer with masculization or feminization of the face. When people have those treatments, that's sometimes gets forgotten, I guess, the face, because the rest gets, but the face doesn't. Is that?
Well, I think with that particular, for those sort of people, those people that have an issue
Yeah.
and want to be more feminine, they may not even have a gender. They may want to just look different.
Yeah.
So feminization and masculinization is what we decided initially that we would offer because we had the expert support from a doctor called Dr. Vincent Wong.
Ah, yes.
And he set up a charity which is fairly recent, it's quite new, called I Am Me.
Okay.
And basically, he's done many transgenders' faces to help them feel that when they're dressed and they've had any surgical intervention, that they look more like the gender they wish to be.
Right. Yeah.
And he's an expert in that field. So we, because it's Brighton, and we know that Brighton is a very
Absolutely, yeah.
popular area for all diversities to come here, we want to offer that for our clients as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good. You're in the perfect place for it, I guess, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Then moving on to something else which we wanted to talk about was body treatment. So for people with a bit more an average weight about them, not a high BMI, so they take the gastric pill, but you've got the hot and cold therapy as well, I believe.
Yeah, so this is a fairly new treatment to our clinic. It's not new for other people to research on the website, but hot and cold is what is now becoming more popular. So it always used to be about fat freezing.
Yeah.
Everyone heard of cryotherapy.
Yeah.
But the advancements are that if you put a machine which has got a radio frequency, which is heat, onto a small area of fat that someone finds difficult to shift, like a small abdomen or the arms or small amount they're holding on the hips. If you put the radio frequency on first and then you put on afterwards some cold, that will cause that fat cell to burst and get excreted through the body.
Right, okay.
But it is a treatment that, like you already said, it isn't for someone who is looking for dramatic weight loss.
Right.
It is for spot fat areas, and we have to be very patient selective.
Yeah, a bit more of a subtle approach with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then another thing that you spoke about earlier was, I might get said this, microsuction for people that have problem with their ears.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, the GPs now are very sort of inundated, and it's not always easy to get a GP's appointment, is it?
No.
So I think what we noticed that there was a lacking in people being able to get treatment for what they would otherwise know as ear syringing.
Yeah.
So we are offering that treatment. We're starting that treatment literally this month.
Okay.
And we hope that, people that have probably otherwise got blocked ears with wax, that we can help them for a small charge here at the clinic, because it's all about their well-being.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a really good addition to what you already do.
Yeah, I think you have to think outside the box,
don't you?
because it's not just all about beautification. And that's the other reason why we introduced the menopause clinic, because again, GPs are inundated, and we wanted people to feel that we could give them time with their issues about going through the menopause or perimenopausal, which is even before they get there.
Yeah. So with that, they book an appointment, they come in, they spend time with you, you go through some treatments with them?
Yes, we go through taking some blood tests, or we do a urine test to just check what their individual hormone levels are.
Yeah.
We get that test back usually within 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then they sit with one of our specialists going through those results of the tests, and we are able to offer them bioidentical hormones, which is what mimics the way the body is. They're plant-based hormones, which are equally as good as the hormones they'd receive from their GP.
Yeah, and you know that because of the results, I guess, that you're getting.
Yeah, we know that, and I went through personally myself the menopause at 38, and I wouldn't be without my bioidentical hormones.
Excellent. Jackie, your passion comes through in what you know, and your experience is awesome. So what do you like best about doing what you do? What's the most satisfaction you get?
Well, I still obviously like the surgery, which is why
Yeah.
this clinic's a bit different, because we don't just offer non-surgical treatments. We're able to offer surgical treatments, cosmetic surgery, as well as non-surgical. I still just like seeing patients realising that some of the treatments that we offer are not so daunting,
Okay.
and that we can see people leaving our clinic a better version of themselves
Yeah.
without looking plastic.
New you.
Something like that, yeah. Hence the name that
Hence
I
the name,
picked.
yeah.
So, yeah, they just feel a better version of themselves. But,
Excellent.
yeah,
Okay.
a new you. Yeah.
Great. Well, if anyone wants to talk to Jackie or any of her team, then please get in touch. Any clinical issues or cosmetic issues they want to talk about, please get in touch. All Jackie's details will be on the Brilliant Businesses website, and they can contact you through your website.
Absolutely, yes.
anewyou.co.uk?
Yes, it's anewyou.co.uk.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you do lots of social media and that sort of stuff for people to see?
Yeah, we have got
Yeah.
our social media, presence. So,
Yeah.
if they want to really have an informal chat, they can have a 10-minute phone call,
Okay.
where they don't feel obliged to come in and actually see us face to face. We can do a Zoom call.
Okay.
And we will do that for 10 minutes for them without any charge. So they're more than welcome.
Excellent.
We just want to help people.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. That's good to know. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for asking me in again, Jackie. It's really great to see you.
Thank you, and it's been great talking to you.
And then we'll see you
Cheers.
for another podcast soon. Thank you.
Thank you.